All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Intune Enhanced webinar. We're going to get started probably about 2 after here. Just give it a few more minutes for everybody to join. Thanks for getting chat warmed up this morning. It's great to see where everybody is dialing in from. It's definitely a global audience today. I am calling in from Minneapolis, Minnesota. There goes the Go Pack. All right, one more minute. Thanks for being patient. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm Will Tivan. I'm the CEO of Recast. I'm very excited to be here with you today. Before we jump into the content, just want to do some housekeeping. So today's session will be recorded. We'll go ahead and send out the link afterwards. So anything you want to review, we'll get that out to you. Within the console will be the chat console here that you'll see on your screen. We'll be sharing out some product related content, so you can grab that. And then please use the chat feature. We have a number of people that have joined the call just to try to go ahead and answer questions. We will do our best. There's a lot of people on today, so if we don't get to them, please, if you are a customer or you have a relationship with Recast, reach out to a contact you have here. If not, you can reach out through the contact us on our website or any of the social channels. You can also reach out to any of the presenters today. All of our email addresses here at Recast are our first name, first initial of last name at recastsoftware.com. So we're pretty easy to find. So to celebrate the launch today, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So there's a number of things we'll be giving away. First, a JBL speaker, Sony headphones, and a Nintendo Switch, and then the grand prize is a Meta Quest 3 VR headset. So we will be randomly drawing those and releasing those in the chat. So pay attention to that to see if you're a winner. If you miss it, don't worry, we'll be emailing winners after. So I think that is kind of where we're at from a housekeeping perspective, and I think we're really going to go ahead and jump in here. So a big thank you to everybody that's joined this call. Either you're a customer, longtime community user, or just found your way here through numerous channels. I say this every call, but like our success here at Recast is a reflection of yours. It's been just a fantastic journey for us, and it continues to be, and that's a big thank you to you. We have a large audience, like I said, on this call today, and I just really appreciate you taking the time to spend one more virtual meeting with us. I know you have a choice there, and the fact that you chose to join is something we're very grateful for. So starting from the first release of the free version of the right-click tools all those years ago, our mission has been simple. It's to serve this community, empower the systems admins, and make all your lives easier. And doing that has enabled us to now have over 70,000 systems administrators that use our product. Over 14,000 organizations in 130 countries that use this software, or a combination of software within the platform today. So it's just absolutely incredible to see the growth and the support that you have given us. We have a 4.9 out of 5 on Gartner. So I think the products speak to them for themselves, but without you, we don't get to do this. So we're super excited for the work that we do, and we're very excited to continue doing it. And get into where we're headed in the future here. So A bit of a refresher. If you haven't been on this ride with us here at Recast, lots have changed. We've grown a ton. And just to review some of the products, if you haven't looked in a while, so the right-click tool is obviously the tool that started it all here, right? It's grown enormously over the years and continues to be, that solution. And you can see that we're continuing to invest in it, but that solution that really helps you take action, get visibility you didn't have within the systems that you were working in today. I mean, I think if you look at the entire Recast product set as a whole, we always take the philosophy of building the sidewalks where the path is most worn, which is why you'll find us in Config Manager. You'll find us in Intune here in the future. We know where you show up to go to work every day, and we're going to keep integrating into those places and adding value. Endpoint Insights as a product that has had a great success around here, and it's really about you can't manage what you don't know about, and Endpoint Insights helps you know more. It is a massive data set that's gathering a ton of information that's not native to the environment today, and then translating that into usable data that you can help make better decisions. Privilege Manager, secure access rights management. I think everybody on this call most likely has been doing this for a long time in this business. We all know that removing admin rights is probably one of the most low-hanging fruit in an organization to have a better security posture. It is also one of the harder lifts in the organization because we have built things on top of things on top of things for the better part of maybe even 2 or 3 decades. And taking those things away can break a lot of things and cause a lot of pain. The product helps you do that seamlessly in a much easier fashion with temporary elevation rights that you can sign rules around. So it's a fantastic product that we see it integrating more and more across the broader platform in the future. And then Application Manager and Application Workspace. There's going to be a little bit of confusion about that, and we know that going forward. But I think within Recast, I think the thing that's important to understand is when it comes to managing applications, whether that's patching, updating, the end user experience of getting those applications, we can solve that problem no matter where you're at. If you're a config manager organization, you're looking to solve it natively there. If you're an Intune organization, if you're in the middle in a hybrid organization, or if you want to be out of band and not be reliant on either of those tools, we can solve it. Application Manager is very much focused on that patching component. Like as this has become more and more a commodity, it is important that we can serve the ability to patch applications. We have a massive catalog to do it. It natively integrates into the workflows that you're doing today, into the update rings that you're doing today, those type of things. And then Application Workspace is really where we see a lot of things headed in the future with a focus on, the digital employee experience and knowing that the world's changed. Some people are out of band now. We're managing multiple management platforms, and my applications are the thing that is so much about how my employees are experiencing their relationship with our organization. And Application Workspace is really built to leverage a technology here called smart icons. And those smart icons are, context-based access to the things that your employees need. So I'm able to serve up an application that is just a pointer. It's no longer pointing to the executable. It's actually pointing to the intelligence that I've built to be like, hey, is this the right version? It's not. We need to update them. Are we going to enable them to run while it's updating? Do we need to get them somewhere else? They're coming from a subnet we don't realize. We want to push them to a virtual session. All that intelligence can be built in, but it's all triggered off the user's level of access or the user's time of access. So, in a modern workplace today where end users are at home, that laptop is turned off at night. Update cycles used to be able to be awake on LAN packets, send that out. Now I have no guarantee of delivery of just pushing applications out. So I can go on and on about that, but I'm going to go ahead and stop there. So we'll go ahead and get into the agenda here. Let me just skip the slide here. So we're very excited. We'll get into demos. We know that's the important part. But we partnered very closely with Microsoft, with our customers on this. We are in this journey with you. As an organization, all of us are trying to figure out where is this path, right? Like we know that we're at A, we want to go to B, but we really can't get to B without still having some of A. And I know that's, obviously vague language, but it really is like we don't know how we get all the way here. And we will continue to help build that bridge. This is the beginning for us. What you will see today is us working with you, working with Microsoft to continue building that bridge. There will be lots more to come. This product, this company is built on feedback. So keep it coming. If you need us to solve problems, if you see gaps, if you are a customer and you're in one of our cabs, speak up. If you're not, we have a lot of channels you can get a hold of us. Like I said at the beginning of the presentation, reach out to any of us. So, headed down this path of really embracing this modern workplace is a huge priority for Recast, and we know it's a priority for you as well. I think one thing I want to be clear on is yes, we are heading towards this. That does not mean we're abandoning the past, where we came from. CM is still a massive part of this business and a massive part of how the world manages organizations. We will continue to invest in creating products that plug into Config Manager, that make your jobs easier, that give you more visibility in both platforms, that tie them together in meaningful ways as we progress through this journey. So as a whole, I just want to make sure that that's very clear. This is not a change. This is not an end to our strategy from that perspective. We just continue moving forward. So I will go ahead and introduce our presenters today. So I'm joined by a great group here at Recast. So our CTO, Todd, our Chief Operating Officer, Charlie, VP of Product, Amanda, and our CTO, Chris. So they'll be walking you through different parts and pieces of this presentation today. But I'll go ahead and turn this over to Todd now, and we'll get started on the technical stuff. Thank you.
Thanks, Will. I'm happy to talk with you all. I've been here for almost 90 days now. So it's been a bit of a trial by fire and the typical fire hose, which I enjoy. I like learning new things. So about me, I've got a lot of enterprise experience. I've dealt with a lot of complex environments, complex problems, both SaaS and on-prem. I'm excited here. Another thing is that I enjoy helping people solve problems. So I'm excited to be here working with like-minded technical folks, both at Recast and in the community, obviously on this call, figuring out the best way to solve problems and to, I'll say, help end users in the end, and help everyone do their job a little bit better, a little bit easier. Forward. Great. So I was asked to lay out, a few things that I see as important from a technology standpoint for 2025. And so I decided, it's always, is it 3, is it 2, is it 4? We'll start here and we'll talk a little bit more as we go through the presentation, and you'll get a deeper sense of where Recast is going over the next 12 months. So first off, I want to mention is application management. We know in the industry today it's a hot topic. We get a lot of questions about it, both from a patching standpoint, how to create smooth environments for end users and reduce challenges there. Proactive security is important. Obviously, security takes all different forms, and we know that. At Recast, we've got a decent breadth of offerings. We've got both application workspace, application manager, and we help both from a customer experience all the way through patching. In 2025, we're going to be enhancing both our delivery methods and our customization capabilities. So we'll be adding WSUS as a delivery method, and we'll also be looking at things like custom apps, pre and post scripting, items like that. And then, obviously, our target here is to help improve the end user's experience, ensure the endpoint's secure, up to date, and make things run smoothly. So we're always interested in listening and hearing about other areas that are a priority that you see as a priority for us to go in. The second area, data. So we're calling it insights and actions here for a couple reasons. And you'll see, one, we want to bring data together across our products and outside of our products. So that includes, obviously, today we have data from SCCM. It means bringing in data from Intune and potentially other sources too. For us, we have 2 objectives we want to address here. One, we want you to be able to look at data holistically. Obviously, systems don't, when an OS has a problem, when an application has a problem, that problem isn't always just in one place. Sometimes it's multiple ones that occur at the same time. Sometimes there's different issues across. We want you to have a holistic view of data so that you can get the best sense of how is your environment doing, hopefully see some things before they actually become a ticket or something else being generated or more urgent than that. The second thing we want to do is to provide the data in context to you. So obviously, swivel seat is a challenge, something everyone wants to reduce and make things, hey, put it on one screen for me where you can, or if I want to see it on 2, I want to see them together so I can easily act between them. So we want to provide data in context to you so you can also make, If you've got the data up, you see a problem, we want you to be able to take actions to fix it then, see the result, see that it's addressed. And so this, team here knows well, but I'm working to understand best what works best for sysadmins in terms of your work style and how you approach it. Obviously, everyone's different, so there's a certain amount of flexibility we want to provide, but we also look at themes and seeing what makes sense. And we're data-driven folks, so having that data together coupled with actions, simple, straightforward path. And then one thing also with data we want to provide is this data gives you a sense to see what Recast is really doing. If you don't, you may know that X action succeeded successfully, that's great. But how's the environment looking as a whole? How is Recast helping you manage, or where can we help you manage your environment as a whole? And so for me, there's two benefits of this. One, you can see, my job across a large number of machines or across tens of thousands of devices, hundreds of thousands of devices. I'm doing what I'm expecting, I'm addressing the issues I expect. But then also, this gives you data to communicate to your team, communicate to your boss, and say, hey, this is the value we're getting. This is what we're doing. And so that's a second aspect of data, insights, and action that we're looking at. And then a third focus for us is community. I've heard a lot of stories about what the community has done for Recast, what Recast has done for the community. Our object is to share all of our products in the community. We want you to have a sense of the breadth of Recast offerings, understand where we can help, how you can see things fitting together and working. And again, back to that value portion, we want you to be able to have the data to say, one, to get some value out of, I'm stepping back from the data comment. One, we want you to get some value out of what you have there so you can see, it really does something. And then we want you to have the data to see how much it can do. And you can talk with your teams and have a good discussion there of, is this the direction we want to go? And here's what it covers, here's what it doesn't, et cetera. So that's my overview of how we're looking at 2025. I'm going to pass it to Charlie, who will be providing us more details.
Thanks so much, Todd, and welcome everyone to today's webinar. We're so thrilled that you could join us. I'm Charlie Dordovich. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Recast, and really one of my primary goals is ensuring that our customers have an exceptional experience with our success and our support teams. Prior to joining Recast, I had the privilege of leading a global customer success organization, serving over 11,000 customers across 6 continents, and really delivering that 24/7 experience. And at Recast, for us, our mission is to exceed your expectations at every step of your journey with us. When you commit to Recast, we commit to you by having you up and running quickly so that you can start seeing value on your investment as soon as possible. And we do that with our hands-on onboarding team that is designed all around your business goals. And 70% of our customers now are fully operational from 30 days of signature. For us, onboarding though is just the beginning. Once you're live, you're going to have a dedicated customer success manager to collaborate with, ensuring that your business goals still stay aligned and that you are able to continuously maximize your investment. And to be able to support that investment, we take great pride in safeguarding it with our world-class support team. Our support engineers bring a deep expertise in both SCCM and Intune and are ready to resolve any of those issues that arise. And customer satisfaction for us is at the heart of what we do. And we're really proud of the fact that we have a 97% satisfaction rate on our support tickets. And so these are just some of the things that are at the center of our mission. But building a top-tier support and success organization is only part of it. Because to us, success goes beyond the product itself. It's about helping you, the customer, navigate the complexities of your environment and ensuring that we are delivering that ongoing value. And so at Recast, we have to stay ahead of industry trends and shifts to ensure that the solutions that we are providing are meeting those evolving needs. And that is especially important when you think about today's modern workplace. And so while we're going through the next few slides, I really encourage you to share with your peers on the chat. It seems like a very lively chat right now, and I love that. Really, how are you operating today in the modern workplace? How are you managing these devices? Is it in Config Manager? Is it Intune, a combo of both? What does the future look like for you with these 3 tools? Are you planning to stay on-prem? Are you moving to the cloud completely, or are you somewhere in between? Or if you're simply asking, what is the modern workplace? Why should I care? That's okay too. It's actually the question we're going to answer right now because it's something that we hear a lot day in and day out. And the reason for that is the modern workplace is a key focus for executives at Microsoft because it empowers organizations to work more efficiently, securely, and collaboratively in this increasingly digital world that we have. For sysadmins, this means managing hybrid environments like Microsoft 365 and also ensuring those robust security measures are in place for remote work. Executives are increasingly prioritizing this shift so that the companies that they helm can remain competitive and flexible. And the sysadmins play a crucial role in that because they are enabling this transformation by managing the infrastructure and the tools that make modern workplace not only possible, but secure and streamlined. And so when we talk about modern workplace, it is really about helping serve you, the end users, our customers. And that's really easy to forget when you think about all the buzz that's going on right now around AI. It's really easy to assume with a name like Modern Workplace, it's solely about incorporating AI into your daily workflows. But that really is only one part of it. While AI is certainly an important factor, Recast itself is focused on enabling all three pillars of the modern workplace. And we do this because while all three pillars function independently, they're all equally important. And for us, and what we've seen is this is how our customers get the absolute most out of their investment with not only Recast, but also Microsoft. Because with Recast, we are able to create a seamless, secure, and efficient digital environment leveraging the modern workplace. The first pillar of that is unified endpoint management through Intune, ensuring that all of your devices, whether personal or company issued, are managed and secured under one system. This helps provide our customers with consistency and control across the organization. The second pillar is security. We leverage Copilot to enhance customer security by protecting the data, automating the compliance, and also offering insights that ultimately will help mitigate risk across the board. And the last pillar is Teams, which to us is way more than just a communication tool. Our enhancements that we have are focused on enhancing Teams so that it can become a central hub for collaboration, project management, and those daily operations. We want to make sure that our customers can integrate their applications, streamline the workflows, and keep their teams connected on a global scale. And this is ultimately how Recast provides value to our customers that no other vendor can, by creating value across all three pillars so that you can have a strong and secure environment that really helps you drive your organizational success. And we will continue to do this through ongoing innovation each and every day. But for us, what we realize is something as equally important as enabling the modern workplace and enabling our customers and helping them navigate this digital world is helping them where they are. And at Recast, we don't just provide tools, we offer a clear and tailored roadmap to guide your organization toward that modern workplace with the flexibility that suits you, the customer, and your own unique needs and timeline. Needs that we found are as unique as the businesses that we support and enable. We recognize that many companies today are currently managing their environments through Configuration Manager, while the future, as we've already talked about, of endpoint management increasingly points to Intune. But every single organization's path that we have is different to that. Some are going to move fully to Intune, while others are going to adopt a more hybrid approach. And at Recast, our goal is to partner with you on this journey to ensure a smooth, seamless transition that aligns with your goals, whether that be cloud, on-prem, or hybrid. And it's that deep integration that we have with Microsoft that enables us to be the only vendor that can provide this level of management and enhancement for both Intune and SCCM from a single unified interface. No need to switch back and forth. And what you're going to see today as part of that is just the first steps that we have in that continuous journey of innovation on behalf of our customers. And it's actually a really exciting day today and part of that journey because we just released a new product that continues to push forward our level of integration with Intune. And to tell you all about it, I'm going to pass it back to Todd, our CTO.
Thanks, Charlie. So, yeah, I mentioned, so for us, we've got Charlie set it up very nicely. Our application manager for Intune was released yesterday. We're very excited about that. That's one of 2 key Intune releases, the capabilities we're delivering this year. So obviously Intune's a big focus for us at the end of this year, and it will be as well in 2025. So application manager for Intune, this release, the key enhancement there is expanding the delivery method to include, obviously Intune is the delivery method there. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll also be adding WSUS in the new year. Holistically, and in terms of application management, we've got, as I mentioned, application manager, and Will mentioned, an application workspace. Important to note is that our catalog is the largest in the industry, over 3,200 applications. We're proud of that. It takes a lot of effort and work to keep that up to date. But that's a key element, obviously, for our customers. And then our upcoming release is right-click tools for Intune. You'll be getting a demo of these shortly. And so right-click tools for Intune, it provides the actions you know and love from our right-click tools offering in Intune, and you'll be able to manage SCCM and Intune machines from a single interface there, including co-managed machines. So our objective here is to help you transition from SCCM to Intune and be in that, I'll say, longer time period of co-management. So we're here, we want to simplify it so there isn't, again, less swivel seat, and to be able to handle things where possible from one interface, streamlining, allow you to focus on things that, items of judgment, things where you can, have a larger impact and that often sort of gets put on the back burner. And then another release we're expecting this year as well is our first release with AI capabilities. So if you were at the Workplace Ninja, if you were fortunate enough to be at the Workplace Ninja conference in Switzerland last month, our Recast Copilot for Security plugin was demoed there during the keynote. Microsoft CPO for Intune had the keynote, and our application was up for a key portion and talked about for a key portion of that keynote. We're very excited about that, very excited about our partnership with Microsoft. And here with the plugin, it's going to provide data both from Microsoft, from Copilot, and data from Recast. And so bringing that together, helping you to be proactive on threats so you can respond quickly when needed and with automation. This is our first step in delivering AI capabilities. And I'll say, I've mentioned on the left, they're practical and opportunistic. I want to talk to you a little bit about our AI approach. There's 3 key aspects to it. 1, we're going to smartly collaborate with Microsoft with Copilot. 2, transparency and data privacy. So we're going to be sensitive to data. We're going to let you know what's going on and what's happening with it. Obviously, data is really sensitive with AI and in that whole space. So those are risks everyone needs to manage. And so we need to manage those together. And then thirdly, we're going to be opportunistic. We're going to examine how AI, ML, et cetera, can help sysadmins in day-to-day jobs and things of that nature. And, we're not building a hammer and looking for a nail. We'll look at that and any other solution. We're going to build the right tool for the job, the right tool to help and solve the problem that's there. So again, your feedback is critical. We're working aggressively here at the end of 2024 and into 2025 to help you get ahead. Any feedback you provide is excellent. Obviously, a lot of folks out there, a lot of different ways to solve problems. The more feedback we have, it's easier for us to find the sweet spot there. So let us know what's going to help you best. And with that, I'll pass it to Chris and Amanda for demos.
All right. Thanks, Todd. Okay. So I am going to first demo one of the newest additions to our portfolio of products, which is Application Manager. And I'm going to give it just a second. All right. Michelle, can you guys see my screen okay?
Looks good to me, Amanda. I think we're good.
Okay, great. Perfect. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with just a brief tour of Application Manager. So as was mentioned, one of the things that we are most proud of in this product is the breadth of applications that are available to customers as you look at our enterprise tool. There are right around 3,300 applications available in Application Manager today. So the breadth of things that you can manage across your ecosystem is extensive. We have everything, including up to about, and I scrolled down here to see specific applications, where we have applications that also serve right around 20 different languages across the whole of the globe. So if you are an enterprise that has, or if you are an organization that has global representation, the cool part of this is that your teams can work in the language they're most comfortable, in the first language that they've spoken, and you can still keep your environment secure and safe in this way, because we're going to allow you all kinds of flexibility across a variety of applications, a variety of languages, any number of business apps that you would be interested in continuing to update and manage across your space, and really allow you to be flexible again for the things that we've talked about, where you have remote employees, you're working in a hybrid environment, as you're thinking about all the different tools that your teams may need. This has a wide breadth of those particular applications. What we've done with this product is that you'll see here, and as of yesterday, 2 different environments that you can manage. So you're able to manage applications that exist in Config Manager and also applications that exist in Intune. If I come into this settings screen, I can go up here to add environment. And what you'll see here is the 2 environments that we have managed today. If I want to make any edits to this, I'm just going to drop into this edit mode. I can change any of my tenant IDs if I need to. I can change the proxy that I'm managing. Anything here can be edited at any time. And then you're allowed to test and add these service connections, as well as, if for some reason you were to add a service connection that isn't set up totally correctly, this is easily deletable as well. If I want to add a net new service connection, again, I'll come in here to the type and you'll see several. So I could add connections for Active Directory. I could add connections for MBAM. And the things that I need to enter in here will adjust as required for those types of environments. So as you see these things, I'll have different settings that I can configure. Entra ID is the same, right? So I'll come in and be able to have different things that I can monitor and edit across those new service connections. So once I've done that, once my environments are set up, then I can come in here and think about what I want my deployment processes to look like. So what you'll see here is a number of deployment processes that we already have set up in the system. You can choose different times to deploy these particular applications based on criticality, or based on, if your organization has a number of activities going on this week and I want to push this out to next week, I can go ahead and do those things, just so as not to disrupt all of my employees across different spaces that may be working. If we want to look at the details here, you can see that I can make adjustments to, if I want to push this particular patch immediately, I could do that. If I want to wait 3 days, fine, I could change that as well. If I want to edit the target, so what you'll see here is I've, in this deployment, I have set up a particular group. I could change this deployment group if I wanted to, or search for others. So let's say that I want to send this out to my dev team. I could absolutely begin to add this in here and have additional groups that I could add to that particular process. You also can manage the setup here, or delete the setup here. You can rename the process. Typically, it just does it as whatever the application is, but we can definitely edit the applications and edit the naming conventions, edit the groups, anything there that you feel from a configuration perspective is necessary to manage your workload and to manage security across your space. I'm going to not save that, just so as not to disrupt any of our deployment processes that are in place. Let's try adding a new one. So if we want to add a new deployment process, I'm going to add the deployment process for Config Manager. I'm going to come in here and it's going to give me any number of applications that I can choose from. We're going to come down here and choose, we're going to choose a version of Adobe that's all languages. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that one. Here you'll see that it shows up again, named as what the application is. I'm going to come in here. I can choose the collections that I want to deploy to. So let's say I want to deploy to all user groups. I can come here. I can assign this for 3 days from now. And I'm going to save. Then if I go back to my overall deployment processes, what you'll see is that now Adobe has been added. It is pending its run in 3 days. If I want to, I can view the detail here. Again, I can come back and edit targets if I want to. So if I want to change collections that I'm assigning this to, if I want to think about this differently, we definitely can make any of those changes at any time. And being that I've set this 3 days out, I'm not disrupting anything. So let's also say I want to try that for Intune managed devices. So if I come in here and select my Intune environment, and I am going to choose another set of applications here, and so let's choose Ableton. We're going to select that. And what you'll see here is now my settings have changed just slightly to manage what I need for Intune devices, right? So it doesn't look exactly the same as what my config-man settings are because those interact differently. And so what we've done is tailor that to these needs. Again, I can assign this for 3 days out. I'll save this. And then I can come back in here and now you'll see that I have both of these that are pending run for different environments and different groups. Again, all of this can occur across any of these devices and any of these applications. So I have a breadth of thousands of applications here that I can choose from. I can look at any of these if I want to deploy. I can from this screen as well, hit deploy, enter in the environment that I choose. From here, I can come back and I will be run through the same set of sort of steps that I had done if I had gone into deployment processes as well. So you can operate either out of the application catalog, or you can operate from our deployment processes in this page. And either one will allow you to navigate and to update those applications as you see or need fit. Ultimately, we're super proud of being able to offer you both Intune and config-man environments. We know that across your organizations, you're trying to manage your hybrid workspace or all of your particular employees across a number of those spaces. And so allowing you the flexibility to do this from one location or also from the Intune interface or from the config-man interface, wherever you find it most flexible or easy to operate within this system, we want to be able to enable that for you and have done that as of yesterday morning. So super exciting release for us at Recast. We're really happy to be able to share this with everybody and be able to enable you to operate more efficiently. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to turn it over to Chris.
Perfect. Thanks, Amanda. All right, so I'm going to talk through some of the right-click tools for Intune. But before we jump into that, I wanted to have a quick review of the existing right-click tools as they exist today in the config manager console, because I think it's important to see what we have today to understand where we're going with it. So I have here the devices node in config manager. As many of you are aware, we have a lot of functionality that we create for users when you right-click on a device or a device collection, and we get all sorts of different options here. I'm not going to spend time on all the different options, but I am going to cherry pick a couple of different things. And the first one I'm going to jump into is a recast automation platform called Recast Builder. So all of those different actions that we were just seeing are all backed by a number of backend actions that are incredibly powerful. And with Builder, we allow you to take all of the things that you can do from a right-click tool standpoint and chain them together into your own custom actions that you can deliver to your end users in the ways that you want. So if you have an organization-specific problem that you need to address that's not available in the right-click tools, you can use Builder to help you address that. And it's this is a fairly simple drag and drop interface, right? So we create a new action, we can come in here, we can grab some of the different options. Let's say I want to, get a list of logged in users on a device. I can drag that in. I can connect our start node to that action. And I can see here all the input parameters that are relevant for this action to make sure that it's going to show up appropriately. Here, it's automatically selected a parameter mapping because it knows that I right-clicked on a device, and it's going to take the device that I right-clicked on and map it to this system information, get logged in users action, right? And so there's a number of different actions you can do here. Sky's the limit, really. There's, we have a couple of example actions here. For example, our run all client policies action, that just goes through and starts kicking off every single client policy that's available in Config Manager in an order that somewhat makes sense. So we start with machine policy, discovery data, hardware inventory, software inventory, and that way, your users don't have to worry about, hey, which order do I have to run these client actions in? And I'm going to jump into another one here. So here I have a more targeted data-oriented one where I'm grabbing a list. I'm trying to grab a list of all the different places that we have add and remove program data or software data or update data on a device, right? So here I get the list of user profiles because we want to see which users are installed, because applications can be installed in the user context. And we'll get to that in just a minute. We grab a list of installed software from our system information tool. We grab all the missing software updates from our Config Manager client. We grab a list of all updates that are currently installed on the system via the quick fix engineering class that's available in the system information tool as well. And then we run this custom WEQL query to interact with the endpoint insights agent on the box so that we can grab a list of all of the user installed software from the EI user ARP class. And we'll talk more about that in just a bit. So this action, again, it's a device targeted action. So it's going to show up everywhere where I have a device inside of Config Manager. We try to add the right-click tools everywhere we have a device, and it's no different for the builder actions that are of the device type. So to show what that looks like, I'm going to come into one of our demo boxes and kick off that same action that we were just talking about, that get software information action. We can kind of see some of the data that we're going to get out of it. So we can see, we mentioned the system installed software. This is similar to what you see in the system information tool. We can get a list of all the software that's installed in add and remove programs on that device. We can see who's logging into the device. We can see from that quick fix engineering standpoint, which updates are actually installed, which updates are actually missing from the device according to Config Manager, right? So these are the updates that you've deployed to the Config Manager client, and these are what would show up inside of Remote Software Center if you were to look. And then we have the user installed data. So this is a live query against, again, that recast agent WMI provider that's provided by Endpoint Insights to grab all of the user installed software on that box. So we can see that the user Chris M, which is me, has the Brave browser installed as well as OneDrive. So a lot of really powerful stuff. And like most things in the right-click tools, you don't have to just run it on a single device. You can multi-select to run that builder action on multiple devices. It's going to be available on your collections as well. So I can come in here, run that same tool against multiple devices, and they're going to show up in just a minute with all of that same information that we just saw. So all really powerful stuff. There we go. So we get all the same information and a little bit more information. We're querying more devices. So really powerful stuff. And as I click through it, we can kind of see some diffs between the various things. So cool stuff. All right, so I'm going to jump over to, speaking of software stuff, we're going to jump over to the software update deployment status dashboard. And this dashboard was added a number of years ago, and it's really designed to try to help you stay compliant with software updates within your organization. So you can see here, I've selected my software update deployment status demo collection here. If we want, we can limit the updates that we're targeting to specific software update groups within Config Manager. So if I don't want to look at, for example, the updates that were just deployed this last month because the machines haven't had enough time to run those updates, I'm not as interested in the compliance of that, maybe a historical compliance, I can target it this way. Again, I can limit to deployed updates, and I can choose how far back I want to go. And you can see, like, as I change things, this thing updates in real time to show me the compliance or non-compliance status of those updates. And as I click on different areas of the pie chart, we can see which updates are compliant and non-compliant, and I can drill in and see which updates on a particular device are missing. And because we're, as Todd mentioned earlier, we are very big on actionable data. I can select those objects, those devices, go into the right-click tools, and for example, run a remote software center action to go ahead and fix any of the compliance issues I have in my environment. So remote software center, as you might imagine, is our solution for viewing software center data on a remote device. And here I've run that on all these devices at once, so I can see what it would look like if I were to go remote into that device and pull up remote software center from Config Manager here. And if I click the software updates tab, I can see all the software updates that are missing and choose which updates or even which devices that I want to install them on and click install to rectify the issue. And because this is Remote Software Center, we can see all of the Software Center related things. So if you're coming to task sequences, we can see which task sequences are deployed and kick them off from here. And then if I have any configuration baselines deployed to those devices, I can come here and see the compliance of those and then go ahead and reevaluate the compliance data inside of that environment. That'll kick off that CI reevaluation process. And if I have a remediation policy applied, it will also try to remediate it. So you can help improve the configuration drift in your environment. So that's a very brief overview of the right-click tools in Config Manager. Now we're going to jump over to what we all came to see, the right-click tools for Intune. So I have here our Intune environment and demo. It's actually connected to that same Config Manager environment that we just saw. And a couple of things I want to point out. We see a lot of devices that are managed by Config Manager. We see some that are co-managed, and we see a device that's managed only by Intune. And I'm going to jump over to that Intune managed device real quick. And the first thing you'll probably notice is on the Intune device page, we actually have this Recast Software icon showing up directly on this Intune device page. And this is provided by Edge browser extension that detects that we are on this Intune device page, and it's going to inject our Recast Software element on there so that you get access to all the same right-click tools that you're used to seeing inside of Config Manager. And when I click on it, the menu looks pretty familiar, right? We see our recast automation, we see endpoint insights, we see right-click tools. Most of the same data or actions that are available inside of Config Manager are going to show up inside of this list. So for example, on this demo Intra 01 box, again, Intune managed, Entra ID join. It is not joined to the Active Directory environment. I can come into console tools, click on the system information tool, and I'm going to pull up the same user experience that we're all used to seeing, right? This is the same exact system information tool that's in Config Manager. I can view operating system information on it. We can see that it's a work group device. It's not joined to Active Directory. And the reason this works is because we actually have a recast agent on the box so that we can interact with those untrusted devices, or the devices that aren't part of a trusted domain. That recast agent lets us do that. And it all works exactly the same way as the right-click tools that you're used to using today. So we've got a recast management server in the mix. We've got recast agents connected to it. This console extension, or this browser extension, is connected to our recast management server, and it's routing those actions in exactly the same way. So if you have recast management server with Config Manager today, the browser extension install is incredibly simple to get spun up because it's all the same code. And I'll click through a couple of things here, but this is all the same stuff we're all used to seeing, right? So I can interact with the services on it. If I scroll down a bit, we can see our recast agent service is actually present on the box. I'm not seeing it offhand, so we'll move on. But all of it is, we can interact with it in all the same ways that we're used to. And again, because recast management server is here, I don't have to worry about if this is a trusted domain or an untrusted domain or anything like that. And it gets even better because I'm connected to that recast management server. That same recast builder action that I just created, that I was just looking at inside of the Config Manager console, actually shows up here. So all of these builder actions are stored on your recast management server. So I can come in here and run the same exact action to get a list of the system installed software on that box, the device users on that box. And because I'm an endpoint insights licensed recast agent, I can actually view the user installed software on that box. All the same information that we just saw inside of Config Manager. So really powerful stuff. And then the other thing I want to point out is, as Charlie and Will mentioned, we don't expect everybody to move to Intune right away, right? So we're going to be in this co-managed, config manager managed mixed state for a while. And because of that, we've gone ahead and added all of the normal config manager client actions in here. So we see here, we have a device that's in Intune, but it's still managed by config manager. And so when I click on the right-click tools for this, I can actually do all the same config manager actions that we're used to doing. So I can run our machine policy retrieval and evaluation cycle to update that config manager policy. And then I can jump into Remote Software Center on this box to see all the same stuff we just saw. Which apps are available to this box? Which ones are installed? Are there any software updates that need to be installed, task sequences, and all the compliance data? And again, all the same actionability exists here as well. If I need to jump in and troubleshoot, I can go in and, for example, do the nested right-click tools that we're used to seeing. So I can open the $C share on this box and start browsing the config manager client logs and some of that stuff. So all of that works, again, exactly the same way you're used to seeing inside of the config manager console. We're super excited to be able to bring this to you. Yeah, I think that's most of the demo for the browser extension. I'm going to pass it back to Amanda to show us a little bit more about what's going on with Copilot for security.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Chris. I am now going to showcase Copilot for security. All right. So this was an exciting one for us because it's our first foray into any use of AI, which I think is new to kind of most of the folks in this room, or new-ish to most of the folks in this room. It was an exciting way for us to utilize tools that exist today in our partnership with Microsoft and be able to sort of capitalize on the things that Microsoft can show today with their data and couple that with what Recast collects from a data perspective as well. I will walk you through just kind of how this gets set up. And then also we'll just kind of answer a couple of questions that I have been asked in previous demos of this around just kind of how do we maintain the security of this? How do we know that I can access this particular information? So we'll start there actually. So if we come over to this left nav, what you'll see down here is that I, as Amanda, am logged in with my account so that I can connect to this instance of Copilot for security. What that does is say, hey, through an authentication layer, Amanda has access to the RMS information that she has with her account, as well as the ability to use Copilot in this particular setting. So through our authentication, it will actually acknowledge that I have access to the information that I have access to. From there, I can come in here. I'm going to click on this Manage Sources button down at the bottom. Let me do that again because it's pretty fast. But if we come down here to this little table that sits in the right, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. And what you'll see in here is a custom plugin that we've made at Recast that I can turn on or off. But what this will allow is to unlock the power of the Recast management server data that exists for your organization and allow that to be surfaced to Copilot so that you can ask a series of questions. Then if I come in here and start talking to Copilot loosely, I can ask a bunch of questions here that Copilot will be able to deliver information back for you. So this makes it really easy if you have, the thing that I've sort of talked with some folks about is if you have newer employees and, there's some pieces of the actual tools that they're still trying to figure out and use and how to navigate menus. And, the Microsoft menus are extensive and figuring out how to use all of those tools. This uses natural language processing to deliver back really fast and really great pieces of information for folks to be able to access quickly. So what we focused on was delivering a few different pieces of information. So first is information that Recast collects specifically. So things that we have that Microsoft actually doesn't have that we can help you augment the information that you have access to today. So in that sense, I'm going to ask a bunch of questions around the warranty of my devices. So if I want to ask a question around a single device, I'm going to put in what is the warranty information for device Recast 01. What you'll see here in Copilot's response is that it's going to go look for sources to pull that information. It's going to find the Recast Management Server plugin, and then it's going to deliver back for you all of the information on that particular device. So it's going to give me model number, serial number. You'll see that this particular device I asked about is in fact out of date from a warranty perspective. It expired in 2023. So then I can sort of start down the path of, oh gosh, I should probably replace this particular device because things are going to start to go wrong in a hurry. And really thinking about how you can sort of process those particular pieces of information, particularly if you think from like a help desk perspective, you have someone who calls in who is having issues with that particular device. This gives you a lot of information at your fingertips right away. Then if I want to get ahead of planning for any number of devices within my organization, I can ask things like, which devices have warranties expiring soon? With that, again, you'll see it finds the Recast Management Server plugin and returns the couple of devices that within Recast we have expiring decently quickly. I can also export this list to Excel. So let's say this wasn't 2 devices, it was 50. I can export those to Excel and work with that information however I want to in that sense too. Then if I wanted to sort of discover this by device type, I can do that as well. So if I say what Dell devices are expiring soon, it will take this list of things that it has previously identified and it'll locate the Dell device for me specifically. So then that's where you see it trickle down to just the one specific Dell device that I need to be able to find. Additionally, we surfaced information from different parts of Microsoft tools as well. So one of the things we focused on particularly was some security questions that you may want to ask to help manage and pull from other areas of Microsoft. So for example, with BitLocker keys, I can say, what is the BitLocker status? And I'm going to stick with my same device. We're all going to see how fast and accurately I can type. But what you'll see here again, finds the same plugin. And it will deliver, here's the BitLocker status for this particular device. So it will tell me, kind of give me all of the information I want to know. Where are the keys stored? What is the recovery key? I also could generate a recovery key if I want to. So if I want to generate a recovery key, for that same device, I could certainly do that as well. And now the cool part is if you are using Copilot for security, one of the things that they're expanding is the number of vendors that are using these plugins. So today what we're showcasing for you is what we've helped build out with Microsoft, but we are kind of the first in this chain. And so any plugins that you have a collation of information and it will find the plugin that can provide the most accurate and most timely information for you. So hence the reason right now, even though I have a bunch of Microsoft plugins available, what it's finding is that my Recast plugin is the most valuable space to deliver the information back to me. The last thing that we did here was try to augment data or information that you have in Microsoft that we have additional and more expansive data. So as you saw with the demo that we did with Application Manager, we have a wide breadth of a catalog that we can deliver for you. And so there are things that we can ask about the applications that we serve that will give you additional information. So if I want to find, ask Recast, what is the latest version of application 7-zip? Because that may not be managed in your Microsoft instance. It is managed by Application Manager. And so what it will find when I say ask Recast is I can pinpoint to Recast and the plugin that Recast provides the information that I can gather from there. So if I know, for example, my application catalog with Application Manager is much wider, I can ask about any of the applications that I have at my fingertips within that application and have that delivered back here. All right. There are also several other questions we can ask related to applications, but in the interest of time, I am going to pass it back to Will and allow him to wrap us up.
All right, thank you. Thanks to everybody, all the presenters and everybody behind the scenes here at Recast that makes this possible. That the chat was out of control. Did we give away the giveaways? I mean, it was just on fire. I don't even know. Does anybody know? Can somebody answer that for me?
It looks like Sierra is doing that right now, Will.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, those will be done here momentarily. So everybody, thanks for sticking around. So, obviously, just based on the chat, and I hope, it's a lot of fun. We have, some of the best customers in the world. And this year is really going to be the year of the customers we head into 2025. And so I'm excited to announce that we are launching a Recast World Tour. So we don't have cities picked out, but obviously, we have a couple offices in Europe today. We have, our North American offices, but we'll be leaving those and heading to a city near you. So, feel free to throw your city in, to get it ranked, but, we'll be working towards this and trying to figure out the most central location based on, customers and feedback and all that type of stuff headed into the end of the year. But so we're super excited to be a one-day event, a free event, obviously, where we'll be bringing in Recast folks, subject matter experts that are outside of Recast, and really just making it super valuable. So, we'll treat it like a rock concert, probably have cool t-shirts with all the locations we're going to. So super excited about that, and looking forward to seeing a lot of you. So I do have a poll question. So next week is MMS Flamingo. We will be there. I think Todd will be there. Chris, I think you might be there as well. And so let us know if you're coming. I'm not going to share these results or anything. It's just for our own. But if you are there, and then if you're going to Ignite too, we will be there as well. So we'll be hosting private events for customers and just Recast folks as well. So I want to make sure you get invited and things like that if you're going to be in town. So please reach out to us and let us know in here. I'm going to let this poll just sit here for a few more minutes, just while it gathers responses. I'll give it one more minute. I know we're over time. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, I have one more poll question. We're still coming in pretty quick, though. Okay, we'll move on from this one. So the next poll is really, kind of a shameless plug, I guess. But if you're interested in learning more one-on-one with, a sales representative and engineer, just go ahead and click here, and then we'll just go ahead and reach out to you to set up a call. So if you don't mind filling that one out. But as a whole, I know you're going to start dropping, but please, reach out to us on social. If there is any questions, there's no way we got to them all. Thank you to the Recast team to try to keep up. But if we didn't get to your question, please, we want to answer it. So just reach out. There's a contact us form on the website. Anybody here, reach out, X, LinkedIn, whatever. We're here. We're here to answer questions. So please. But yeah, very excited for all of this. Thank you for all the time today. And we'll be putting out more information here in the future. So thanks again. And I'll leave this poll up while we wrap up.